So in a crazy turn of events, it appears like Lexie Hull is going from DNPs, and I mean by DNP, I mean like DNP 2 games ago, to a starter. I don't know what Christy Sides is thinking, but I don't hate this. I like Lexie Hull as a starter. She was really, really good in their last game. I think Lexie Hull as a starter is pretty decent. But anyway, before we get on to things, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 19.3k by the end of the day, and we are 75 off right now. But if you did not see, there's a way of telling, and it is due to the practices. So you can see, obviously, Caitlin Clark wearing blue right here. Oh, I think, is it blue? Well, apparently it's blue. I'm very colorblind. It could be navy. Katie Lou was wearing, like, navy. And then also, Erica Wheeler, one of the times, is wearing navy. So it's not a guarantee that if someone's wearing navy, they're starting. But what has been a guarantee is that if somebody is wearing gray, they're coming off the bench. So if you look at this practice right here, can I get a pause frame somewhere? Trying to pause it at the right time. I don't know what is going wrong, but it's not pausing at the right time. Either way, Lexie Hull is in blue. And you would assume that, well, not you would assume Lexie Hull's going to start, but they're facing the Mystics, which is an interesting matchup for them. It is a really interesting matchup. Because, like, the Mystics they're very, very offensively, especially against the Fever, because as good as their bigs are, like Dawson's pretty good. What's her name has destroyed Dawson, Aaliyah Boston, all year. Anytime they've played, Aaliyah Boston has gotten the better of Dawson. They've very much struggled guarding Caitlin Clark because they have, like, anytime Ariel Atkins is on Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell cooks whoever they put on Kelsey Mitchell. And now Carly Samuelson's not even available. So it's going to be a really tough one. And then there's Aaliyah Edwards, obviously, who can play a bit. They've got Walker Kimbrough off the bench, who's a good player. So just the way that this team is, I think that they think that if they can slow down Ariel Atkins, they can win this game. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. If the Fever are able to slow down Ariel Atkins, who I think had 26 on them the last time, I don't think the Mystics have much of a shot. I think it really does come down to how much Ariel Atkins can cook them. And I think Lexie Hull is the best matchup because I'm looking at their other matchups for their starters. I'm surprised that it looks to be Nalissa Smith coming off the bench. I would have thought it would have been Katie Lou back into the bench lineup, especially because she was, minus 12 at the weekend or something. It was not a great game for Katie Lou. But I will say that Nalissa Smith had been pretty good. Nalissa Smith had been pretty good the last couple of games. So maybe it's just a tactical thing for one game. And one thing that Katie Lou does really well is run. Katie Lou runs and Lexie Hull they genuinely, the two of them are two of the best just get out and run players on this team. And Katie Lou's not the fastest player in the world. She's not, especially she's even slower now after coming back from having a kid. But I am very surprised with Nalissa Smith because, again, she is. Maybe it's a case where they want to bring her off the bench. I don't know. She's been a lot better in the few games she came off the bench this year. It might have been 2 games this year only. At the start of the year, she didn't look great. So, and I think she has kind of got it going offensively as a starter. But maybe they're saying, look, Katie Lou is going to pick up some fouls. Maybe both of them are foul prone and they want to run with this lineup. So it is interesting. It would not surprise me to see them kind of go against what they've previously done and start still start Nalissa Smith. But I would actually be shocked if they don't start Lexie Hull because this is not the game for Nalissa Smith and Katie Lou. This is not the game because they've got no answer for Ariel Atkins. And because you've got Caitlin Clark who's going to be guarding Julie Van Loo. Walker Kimbrough coming off the bench has been their best player the last couple of games. So that's what it is. And you can't hide Caitlin Clark on Carly Samuelson anymore. As good as Samuelson can shoot, you can't just hide her on Samuelson. So you've got Hines Allen as well, who's a good big, who's a good power forward. So that could be a tough matchup again for whoever the big is. So I would be very surprised. Obviously Hines Allen coming off the bench. You got Dawson, Edwards. Well, one of them coming off the bench. Dawson and Edwards. Hines Allen, 2 of those 3 starting. But this team really goes, like, when Melbourne's on the floor, I don't think there's going to be much of an issue with guarding them. But I'm just looking at the team right here, and it's like, Walker Kemba has been great off the bench. She has, and like, she's up playing 30 minutes a game with near 15 point a game averages through her last 5. So she's going to be a tough matchup for, as your secondary player. You're probably going to play, she's going to be on the floor most of the time. You're going to have to put a Kelsey Mitchell on her, even though she's not a good defender. You still don't want to have Caitlin Clark guarding another team's best player. But the problem is that Julie Van Loo's a tough matchup for Caitlin Clark. So you do need some defense there. So it makes perfect sense why Lexie Hull is going to be there. Thankfully, it's not looking like it's going to be what we all feared. I can't remember what the game was. There was one game we just were in so much fear because what's her name was wearing, Erica Wheeler was wearing blue. We were all in fear. We were all in major fear right there. But obviously it does not seem to be the case. She does not seem to be wearing blue anymore. And they had 6 people wearing blue. But also people were like, oh, it was Katie. Everyone just assumed it was Erica Wheeler because nobody thought Katie Lou was going to be starting. But then it ended up being Katie Lou, who started after playing 4 minutes the game previous. So I don't know. I will say after that game against the Liberty, Lexie Hull 1,000,000% deserves to start. Because look, Lexie Hull's not this lockdown defender. She can play defense and she can run. Like, would I rather have seen them giving a chance throughout the year to Celeste Taylor? Yes. Do I think as far as fit, Celeste Taylor is a better defender than Lexie Hull? Yes. Do I think she runs better than Lexie Hull? Yes. Is she a better shooter than Lexie Hull? I mean, Lexie Hull's shooting like 20% for a career or something. So maybe. Can't be any worse. So Lexie Hull does offer a bit of length though. So she can make it difficult, especially someone like an Ariel Atkins who, when she killed him in the last game, most of her damage was from like pull-up mid-range shots. They just had no answer for her ability to just come off a screen and just pull up in their face. So they had no answer for that, whereas Lexie Hull's length can make that a little bit tricky. Her length will be able to bother Ariel Atkins a little bit. And I don't mind this. I think it is a good move, especially to reward her after how well she played against the Liberty. And look, she's the best. She's the best defender currently there. And the fact that the second best defender on this team is Christy Wallace on the perimeter is so crazy. It's so crazy, but at least it is looking like Lexie Hull is going to start, which is going to be a huge positive for this team. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think they're going to beat the Mystics? They really should. Like Austin, like the Mystics have 8 healthy players. Like they have 8 healthy players. They can't lose. Look, again, this is the best 5 and 5th, whatever it is, team in the WNBA. But they've got 8 healthy players. You've got to beat them.